With the recent escalation in the northwestern Syria in the last few weeks, we have seen a large amount of civilian casualties, with the actual number of civilian deaths unclear, with many reports of high numbers. But we can confirm that at least 200 civilians were killed in the last few weeks in northwestern Syria. More than half of these actually are women and children, and the rest are men and elderly. With these attacks that actually target highly populated civilian areas, and this results in this number of casualties. The attacks also and this kind of military activities happens in areas away from front lines, on civilian infrastructure buildings, on health facilities like hospitals and health centers, on mosques, on schools and kindergartens, on even public bakeries, on marketplaces, on civilian homes, which results in increased number of casualties in terms of people killed and people injured in northwestern Syria. In addition to that, because of the targeting of civilian areas and civilian gatherings, people take their iftar and their suhoor without having any lights, because any kind of light might be a potential target for a strike. So people are forced, for the sake of protection, to eat and to break their fast if they are able to find food supplies in the darkness of the night, to avoid being directly targeted. In addition to that, in areas where people are trying to get some clothes or presents or things for Eid, which is next week, they are directly hit in these locations with direct attacks on marketplaces, crowded hours during the day, which happened 2 times in the last 48 hours, which caused also increased number of civilian deaths and casualties. So instead of children buying toys or buying new clothes for Eid, they are sent to hospitals, which is also being targeted, and some of them are being injured, and several of them actually are killed in these kinds of attacks in these holy days of Ramadan and approaching Eid period.